Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are in the world. This is Kidnapper speaking, KIDDNAPPA. Yeah, you know how it goes. And this is Tables Chronicles. And right across from me is...
Reality Complex.
Yeah.
Real Complex.
Yes.
AKA Your
Life in Check. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? On? Yeah, man. And to your left is...
Coaching with Leticia. Innovate your business, elevate your life.
Yes, people. The two individuals have introduced themselves. You heard them right. And for people, actually, I keep forgetting to do this when we are talking. Reality Complex, for people who need DJing, need to be DMing and saying that they need certain works done.
Yeah, hit me up.
Complex is available for the DJ session.
Real_complex_media, complex with a K, all day.
That's it.
Let's go.
And Coaching with Leticia, for those who are looking at a business and want to improve on what they've got, she's the perfect person for that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. If you want to start a business or at the very beginning stages of your business, I'm your girl.
That's it. Anyway, people, how was the week?
It's been a good week. Half time with the kids and that. You know how it goes.
No traffic.
Roads is
No
clear.
traffic.
That's positive. The roads are clear.
No traffic, basically. That's what it comes to. No traffic, man. Well, you know what? Listen, on the terms of news, man, this Vybz Kartel thing is getting more interesting for me. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to it. I've been looking at it from... No, I've not been looking at it. I've been seeing it because it's been at least 10 years that guy's been in prison now.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But he's still releasing records, isn't he?
He's still releasing music.
Yeah. But I find it very interesting because the case now is in the UK. But this is Jamaica.
So it's the establishment, isn't it? It's still got some
everything is
sort of
UK.
dealings with
everything is UK.
The system over there.
Everything is UK. That don't matter. Even when they're doing their court cases and stuff, apparently they still. Well, right now they say
Her Majesty's.
Now it's His Majesty.
Her
His
Royal Highness. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
What do they call it now? Because everything is HM. Have they changed it?
No, HM is always going to be HM.
His or hers.
His or hers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you HMP, Her Majesty's pleasure, as they say, prisons, but they say Her Majesty's pleasure. But I don't know because it's HMP now.
So it's still his, isn't it?
Is it His Majesty's pleasure?
Yeah,
I don't know because people will be a bit. Ooh, why are you saying his? But anyway, it all falls down to his or hers.
Yeah. And a quick one with the currency and that. What's gonna?
Yeah, I think at some point it will change, but unfortunately the fella has problems at the moment, which we're not gonna go into that. Yeah, that's another story. But like I'm saying, in courts in Jamaica, they used to say "God save the Queen," isn't it? Now it's "God save the Queen." But Jamaica is an island. Huh?
What did I say? Twice.
You said Queen.
But I said Queen twice. Everyone's used to the Queen. You know what I'm saying? But so it's got to be "God save the King." I was about to say Queen, actually. But here's what's interesting is because Jamaica has an Independence Day. That makes no sense to me then.
That's an interesting one.
Because if Vybz Kartel is being persecuted by the Jamaican government or the Jamaican laws, right? How come they're in the UK arguing his case? Even I think Belize is also in a similar position, because I seen there was a program I once watched and they were talking about an issue in Belize, and they were like, it has to come from the UK. So I said the UK is a very powerful place, man.
Yeah, even though it's kind of given, the place that used to colonize independence and things, it still has.
They control it. Commonwealth.
A hand in
Commonwealth.
So is that where the Commonwealth?
All Commonwealth countries were all ex-colonies, right? Like
but they have an option to be in the Commonwealth, right?
There is there really an option?
But it's
I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like this double dealings thing where it's like, okay, if you're in the Commonwealth, you get certain perks in it, like trading and things like that.
But
if you come out of it, then you might not get that trading deal there.
Is there really? Because I think it comes down to, I think a lot of it comes into your travelings. Because if you're traveling to some of these countries can't come here just like that. They have to go and make applications for their visas and all of that stuff. Which is why I always question. This is why I always question this Commonwealth thing, because it's like, whoa, what's going on here? But the part that really gets me confused completely is Jamaica, because Because I guess the high level of crime that was coming in from the gangs from the time who was dealing drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
So they put the restrictions on Jamaica, isn't it? So anybody coming from Jamaica, because before that, most people just, all you need is a ticket, you fly in and you fly out, you go, you go about your business. And other Caribbean countries in that position, they haven't got the same problems. It's only Jamaica that has that problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Barbados now, it's a republic. But I'm curious to know, would they be in the same predicament as they would have to need visas to come in the country? I don't know.
I would assume so.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's fact because there's probably people out there that will correct me.
A lot of these places are very different.
Going off the logic that we're speaking about, I would assume, because like when we came out of EU, so now that we're out of it,
your passport has to be stamped and all of that stuff. Yeah, there's that. But then there's a difference between being in the EU and a country that's controlling another country. What I mean is this, the laws of Jamaica rely on what the UK says. Yeah. However, the laws in the EU
have their own.
They have their own laws, but they have the common law of humanity. So there's a couple of things that they share in terms of this, that, the other, and which is the right to free travel in that part of the world and all of those things. For all their citizens, it's not a question you can't say to them, you can't travel here, you can't go there. No, they've opened up their borders for everybody else to come in there, and they know that they can live there, they can apply for this, they can apply for the other. There's no restrictions to that level. You see what I'm saying? However, there's some things you can't tell them that if you cause an offense in one place and then you're in the other. It's not like the US. You can probably say you committed an offense in this state. So this state, you need to answer to that state, as long as it's the state laws.
Yeah, how does that work? Because people get extradited in different countries.
Yeah.
They ship you off back to the other state. Like, do you go to jail in the other state, or you just have to go court in the other state, depending on.
From some people I know. Weird enough, I'm saying it. People I know, because there's people. I know some characters. What I know is what's his name? When he was wanted. I won't even start mentioning where he was wanted, but that's another thing. But he was arrested, and where he was arrested was in a different state to where he lives. And the policeman told him, I said, "Hey man, you got some issues in the state that you're coming from too." He goes, "You want to address that, man?" And he goes, yeah. Eventually, he ended up sorting it all out. He told me, you know what, they arrested me, and I was going to prison for the weekend.
So just to touch on that, say you've got, I don't know, a warrant in the other state, but you're in the opposite state. Does the opposite state send you back for that warrant, or
it depends?
Is it just down to them because they're separate states?
It depends on the crime that you committed, I think.
Oh, the level of crime.
Yeah. Because if it's a fair, no, what's the difference? There's one that affects the whole. So if it's one that's there's a state law. But then there's one. So if you work for the post, office, that's countrywide, right? So if you commit offense with the what do you call it, with the state, I mean, if you commit the crime in the post office, that's considered a federal crime,
offense,
federal offense. Because you're affecting the whole. You know what I'm saying? But then there's other laws. If it's just like a driving offense you did on this particular road in this particular area, hey man, you need to go and see what's happening with that. But then now the interesting thing is that you have people who have cars, and that's the part that I was really that's the part that really made me laugh when I seen that. But I don't know if it's still the same, because last time I looked into that, when I learned about it, it was years back. But what the guy did, he was driving a car. He was from Texas, I think it was. And he was in, I'm not going to mention the names of where the states, man. But where he was, his car was coming from Texas anyway. And then he was in another part of the country. And he was like, they really can't really pull me up on issues with Texas. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, I've got to go back into them with this car so that they can pick up on my issues that I have with them. I was like, oh, damn, man, that's quite interesting. Yeah. But it's funny, man. I look at it, I'm like, it's one country that operates very, very, very opposite, man. However, it still comes down to it when I say Jamaica is still under the UK. As much as you say there's Jamaican Independence Day, the laws are still being. I mean, right now, Vybz Kartel is arguing his case in the law in the UK. That's who's here fighting for him. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah, that you're in Jamaica, but you come into
And it's in the UK that you're now. It's saying to the
or
UK
in
that
general,
the law.
like you're in one country,
the
but
UK
you've got to
law.
go to another country to speak up.
Yeah,
and
the UK
that's
law is the one
term
that's and a lot of these countries are similar, man. It's like, yo, their laws are not their laws; they're British laws, man. So you go even how they.
But maybe it's just a case of since they did become independent, they just haven't changed the system, isn't it? Maybe it's a change that has to take place. So maybe they've got it on gen. But imagine like you'd have to change all. Imagine how many laws there are, and you'd have to go through them and reconfigure them and all of that.
Listen.
Like, it's a lot of overturning.
No.
You know they're laid
Listen,
back people.
you know what? Because of that,
That's actually a good thing to understand. Like, how does the transformation take place once you've gone independent? Like,
I
what does
wonder.
that mean in
Actually,
terms of process?
you've raised a very good.
Maybe it's a gradual thing.
Because if you Google Jamaica, it tells you it's the king that's the head of the country, isn't it? Or it used to be the queen. So now I wonder what Barbados, because if you put Barbados before before it became a republic, it feels very interesting saying Republic of Barbados actually.
It does,
But very interesting, man. You know what I mean? But if you look at I wonder what it says under them when you say Barbados now. What does it come under? Because most Commonwealth countries is always a republic of, and it's the president that's the number one who's voted in every 2 or 3, 4 years, whatever the case, depending on the law of the land anyway. But their laws are seen in that way. But I'm still to say, even though it's very free, they still have to answer to the UK for some other areas. Do you know what I'm saying? But I still am baffled as to the Vybz Kartel case. But that case looks quite dodgy. Looks there's a lot of dodgy issues in that case, man. Because they're finding out that the jurors, some of the jurors, I think they tried to buy them off or something. And I'm not saying that's a fact, but I think I overheard something like that.
Yeah.
So I was looking, allegedly, as what's his name would say. But yeah, it's one of those areas where I'm thinking, okay, so what's it gonna be? What is it really going to be? Because this person is seeing it this way and this person is seeing it this way. However, your law of the land is a very, very opposite law of the land. But if Jamaica is really supposed to be Jamaica should be able to travel in and out of the UK as much as they please. As much as a British citizen would go there and enjoy the place and come back, like no problems, you know what I mean? But I guess the mentality also changes because it's not the same. It's not the same land in some
They
perspectives.
say here it says if the appeal at the Privy Council is dismissed, Kartel will be eligible for parole in 2046. That sounds so futuristic, isn't it?
2046.
Remember flying cars and all of that stuff I thought I'd be having now, but 2046, that's mad.
That's mad, you know. What's his name? Adidja Palmer. Vybz Kartel. He used to be a teacher, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He used to be a teacher. I used to listen. Vybz Kartel, I used to listen to that brother. You know when I was really working out? That's the one brother I used to sit down and listen to.
That makes sense. So you're Jamaican son.
I did listen to it.
Is that where you practice your patois, yeah?
Listen. No, that's one brother. That's one brother, I tell you, man. He has a song, Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Yo, I'll be with you. Standing. Man, listen.
That's old school, man.
That is my tune. Yo, when I used to work out, Last Man Standing, come on. Oh, mate, I want to start repeating what he says, but no, let me not. But yeah, that's a song, man. I was just like, yo, this brother just went in. And you know what? He made that song, I think, in the middle of him and, what's his name? The two of them were having a beef. You know, the sound clash.
Oh, yeah.
They were in the sound clash when the two of them were doing the sound clash thing. And I was like, wait, these brothers are busy doing it, man. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's quite interesting, man, when you look at it. Because I was looking up, I was like, how did this guy come up? And it was like, he was a teacher. I was like, okay, it was a teacher, and then you just got into music, and boom, and he took on. Because that album that has that song, what's it called? It's got part 1 and 2. It's a 2-disc album, and every single song on it, man.
Sorry, I keep giggling. I'm just literally thinking of you being on the treadmill, winding to that Last Man.
I wasn't even. You know what I was doing? I was hitting the road. No, I was on the roads actually. I was on the roads. I was on the roads listening to that, man. I remember there's this time because remember I used to run a lot. So I remember I was in Kenya actually, and I was like, yep, boom, 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 boom. I was like, yep, got my headphones on, boom, I'm ready, I'm going. And it's like, last man standing. I don't want to say the words because I know I'll mix them up a little bit. But yeah, I was just listening to it and I'm like, yeah, boom. I'll finish the whole album, get back in, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, time to shower. That's what I learned about the. You know, when you're having a shower, when you're going in the shower, you always go in with your body, right?
What do you mean?
If you go into the when you go shower, no. All right, so check this out. When you go in the shower,
Okay.
yeah, when you step into the shower, you step into it, right? Like the water is gonna touch some of your part of, like your upper body.
Most definitely.
Yeah. All right, but that's when I learned the difference when you're having a shower, because you know it causes a lot of heart attacks. A lot of people die in heart attacks in the shower.
Why is that? Because of the heat and
no, because what they say is it's a shock into your body.
Yeah.
But if you run it on your legs first.
First to test it.
Yeah, you run it on your legs, then you can go in and have a shower easy. You won't even feel the cold won't be this cold water will not feel the same when as you would feel like when they were doing the
Have a cold shower.
huh?
Why would you have a cold
You know what?
shower?
Yeah, someone told me that's good for your pores.
Very.
So like,
Really?
Yes.
yeah. So you go in the sauna or steam room.
Yeah.
And
Cold
you're
water.
sweating in it.
Yeah.
And then
Cold
when
water.
you have the cold water, it closes your pores.
It closes up the pores. Yeah.
It's very good to go from hot and then straight away go to cold. And then
Is that why people have ice baths?
Yeah, those all
But
they're all
also,
helping
obviously,
those
like,
in the
athletes do
fields.
it.
Yeah.
Like, for muscle healing.
It heals up.
Like
It heals you up a bit
The
differently.
cold.
Yeah.
That's a lot to
Yeah. So that's why you get people, the athletes, to just dip themselves in the ice bath quickly, and stay there for a couple minutes, and then boom, back out, and they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's good
My
for
muscles have
muscle
relaxed a little bit. So it's one of those weird things that we don't learn about these things. It's just we don't get taught these things. We start learning about them later on in life when you start trying to get into your training and looking at things from this perspective, and you're like, hold up, how does this work? How does that work? How does this go? How does this go? Remember, even we've spoke about this before, the microwave thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and it's not something that you'd ever expect to ever think that will make a difference. But as soon as you do it, you're like, oh yeah, but you're really not supposed to be using a microwave in the first place.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
radiation
saying?
and stuff.
Yeah. So it just goes. It's just weird. Life is just the world just operates in a different way, I guess. But the more you travel it and the more you see it, the more you're open to the rest of to the rest of what the world gives you. You know what I'm saying? Because to some perspectives, you get to a point you're like, am I bothered with this? Yes, no. But anyway, that's that.
You were saying about stepping your body into the shower,
Cold.
putting it on your foot first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just
It's
step in.
no. So naturally,
What he's saying is that it's better to prep your body. So, like say when you're testing the baby's milk, you put it on your arm first to make sure it's not too
I
hot.
drink it.
Yeah.
Of course.
But you know what I'm trying
when
to
it goes
say.
in their
Really?
mouth.
It's
man, you
it's
just
good to
breast milk,
test
normal
these
milk,
things
you
first.
just-
So
have
your
you
body is
ever
ready
tasted
for it.
baby milk?
Huh?
Have you ever tasted baby milk?
Not like exclusively. But
Don't tell me how you tasted it.
I know
Like,
you're-
don't buy it off the shelves.
You want me?
Friday
You
night.
were
I know what you're
breastfeeding
trying to
as well.
I know
What,
it.
breast
See,
milk?
that's what I was waiting for you to say.
I knew he was gonna come to that. He was gonna.
You guys
You were
have-
breastfeeding?
I've never tasted breast milk.
No,
You haven't tasted breast milk?
I am.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would I want to taste breast milk,
It's
man?
the sweetest thing your soul will ever have.
It's actually
You've tasted
alright,
breast
though.
milk?
I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
It's lovely. Huh?
You've tasted breast milk.
Of course I've tasted breast milk.
Yeah, that's some weird.
It's sweet. I promise
alright,
you, it's
you know.
really nice.
I'm not
I'm not
this.
gonna lie. It's alright.
It's nice.
It was all right because of what you were trying to get up to at the end of the finishing line. You know what I'm saying?
matter. Really?
That's maybe
But-
all part of it, but
yeah, long
breast
story
milk is
short.
lovely.
You taste breast milk.
Yeah, I
Why
tasted it.
not?
That's interesting.
No. Why not? Why are you touching
I'm
your
not.
chest?
No.
I'm still feeling violated. No, it's
No, I'm just
fine.
wondering. No, you know what?
There's a man that breastfeeds from his.
I've seen. I heard about this. I've heard
Yeah,
about this.
no,
and
that's different.
There's some things I've even seen. There's some women who have their children at 3-4 years old who are still breastfeeding to some extent.
Yeah.
And I think
12. I think the oldest one has been 12.
look at that. That's madness.
I think
man.
that's a concern.
Yeah, there's something
There's
psychological going on.
That's a concern.
But you.
It's lovely.
You're trying to
It's
grasp
lovely.
me.
You can bottle it and sell it.
That's,
It's
you know
lovely.
what? In the
And they do.
in the film, there was someone that was trying to do that,
Yeah,
but it didn't take off because of obviously the moral standing behind it.
yeah. It's true.
But because it's full of nutrients, isn't it?
There is, and
It's
there's a
full of
lot of
nutrients.
not athletes, but
But it's
people
for the
that
baby.
push weights. No, it's for a human being. That's
But this
what
is
it's
the
for.
thing.
And there's
high in protein
healing
and stuff.
properties as well. So if your baby has like jaundice or cuts or whatever,
That's why it's always better for a
Breast
baby
is
to be
best.
breastfed rather than
No, that
process.
you
if they
don't.
latch on.
In fact,
Yeah.
even when babies breastfeed, you have to burp them. No.
you burp babies whether they breast or milk feed.
Yeah, but generally, when you breastfeed them, the burping is not the same as the bottle one, is it?
My boy, he was quite quick in terms of you just lift them up and it was fine. But every baby's different. They might have colic where the baby might not be able to bring up the gases that's needed. But
You been telling me.
Yes, taste it.
So what, would you make a cup of tea? Did you make a cup of tea with it as well?
I had hot chocolate.
Yeah,
I had tea. I had Frosties, cereal.
Really?
Couple of biscuits.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, why not?
That's different.
Why not?
I'm not saying why.
It's
I'm
the
not
most
saying.
natural milk produced by a human being.
Like I will say, listen, because this you know what I find very interesting, because I've always questioned why we drink cow's milk, because cow's milk is not for human consumption.
It's not for humans.
Yeah, it's not for human consumption, is it? Yeah. It's for the cow.
For the cow.
But every time you tell somebody that, they'll be like,
they'd rather, because it is kind of a reverse thing. Like people would rather drink a cow's milk than breast milk, for example.
Yeah, like how did that happen?
When
it's probably better that we drink the breast milk and not the cow's milk.
Of course it is. Of course
that
goes without saying. Yeah. Like, people are uncomfortable even breastfeeding in public. Like, because obviously my son is 14 months, right? So obviously when he was small and I'd breastfeed him in public, there were times where it was a bit awkward, because sometimes I was out and this dad obviously just had a baby as well. I'm breastfeeding my son and he just happily comes over. Oh, look at your little boy. I'm like, bruh, if you can eat in public and have peace, so should he, kind of thing. Because I would have to, I'd be modest, etc. Because I'm not.
You know
small.
what? I think that's a problem with the European state.
Yeah.
Because in Africa you don't have that problem. You're never gonna have that problem. You're breastfeeding your child.
Exactly. You just breastfeed.
They ain't gonna question you about
natural.
it. And you know what? Because the more I travel, the more I start questioning the society we're living in the UK. Because sometimes I think a lot of the problems that are here are they UK. I think it's a European law that people have a certain problem with certain things. Because if you're outside of Europe and you start looking at how certain things are done, they couldn't care less for certain things, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? The only difference is the system just doesn't support people to the best. But they will never bother you. If you're breastfeeding your child, how else are you supposed to breastfeed your child?
Exactly. Or feed your child.
You know what I'm saying? How else are you supposed to do it? But at the same sentence, man, you still see that some of these, like, you got a lot of these young, the young ones who are giving birth, and it's like, well, how old are you? You're giving birth at this age. What's going on? Like, who's responsible for this person? And at some point you start looking at them homeless people and blah blah blahs in some of these parts of the world.
This year, because like it's natural, like a female has a period and starts producing eggs at a certain age, at a young age. So like, if it's not okay, or it wasn't okay for someone to have a baby at a young age, why are they able to, like, naturally? Do you get what I mean? Has anyone ever thought about that question? Because we're saying that there's children that have babies from a young age, but they're physically able to. Like,
I think you got to let the person be an adult.
Meant to happen.
I think it's quite a loaded question, but I think that with everything, your body needs time to develop, and that's part of your developmental process. It's like, when a baby doesn't have teeth, there's times when some babies have teeth more
then they have to come
quicker
off
than other babies.
and they
So
come off.
that's a developmental stage. It doesn't mean they have to start eating food because they have two little teeth coming through. You just have to go through that process with them. And yes, you're able to have a child at that age. It doesn't mean that you should, and you're even mentally ready to. I think there should be that time to process and to get used to your natural changes of the body and how your body evolves in different seasons of your life.
I think it's insane. I think it's insane, man, because the child is 18, that's an adult. Go and live the world, but learn certain things. When you start seeing these children being children and giving birth as children, man, like, your whole life is gone.
What would you say is the kind of prime age, or the kind of lowest age someone should have a child at?
I'd say 18.
What would you say?
This is my opinion. I think you should finish university and then think about stuff like that.
Oh, you mean to have no.
If my daughter,
like, just age-wise. So uni's, like, people tend to go at like 19, between 19 and 21.
Yeah, I think between 19 and 21. I think there are life decisions and experiences you should have before you commit.
No, I agree
to
with
a
you.
trial.
I ain't gonna lie. I
think a
agree
trial's
with you.
a massive responsibility.
No, that is a problem you're bringing in the world for yourself. If you're gonna be, but you see, the problem is you're gonna enjoy yourself at the same time.
Yeah, but you can enjoy yourself safely.
No, well, this is what I'm saying. The enjoyment also has, this is a situation as well. If you're enjoying, you end up. I know one or two people who've given birth at a very young age.
Yeah.
And they are like, yeah. I mean, they're doing quite well right now. But sometimes I listen, I'm looking, I'm thinking, man, if you didn't have that, would you be the same disciplined person that you are today? Many of them say, nah, I wouldn't. Many of them say that
because it brings maturity, doesn't it?
Yeah. It brings you. Yeah, it brings you
people,
fully up to. Yeah, I mean, you always have a few. It's just like crack. You have a crackhead who can never stop taking crack, and you got a crackhead who can do it every weekend, and he's all right. By the Monday, he's back to work, and you know what I mean. In fact, even if you know people who have been selling drugs,
they call that functional addict.
You see what I'm saying? They know that on the weekend, this one will buy XYZ, and by Monday he wouldn't even look for you at any given point. But then you have the other one that'll be like, and he's back onto your case. Drugs is a very interesting thing.
It is, yeah.
It's a very interesting thing. It's the same thing as weed. You get people who could smoke weed. They wake up in the morning before they brush their teeth. They've already made sure they smoke a little bit and then brush their teeth. They can't survive a day without it. And then you got people who say
it's no different to coffee though.
In
coffee
terms of
still like addictive.
It's a stimulant, isn't
exactly.
it? It's from the strain of the coca leaf or something.
Cocoa.
Cocoa.
The coffee bean, bro. You said cocoa. You said the cocoa bean. The cocoa bean.
I was thinking about the herb, man.
Which cocoa bean you talking about? Yeah, which cocoa bean are you talking about? Are you talking about cocoa as in cocoa for hot chocolate, or are you talking about the cocaine?
That's what I'm talking about.
Man. Look at that. That's finished a lot of people in the world. I know we were supposed to get into question time. Actually,
we're going to do question time in a minute.
Yeah, but cocaine is an interesting one because I know we're already on a drug conversation. Yeah. Cocaine is an interesting drug because the likes of Pablo Escobar, what's my guy? The most recent dealer that's been.
Oh yeah,
the one is in prison.
That goes underneath the tunnel.
I know he's English. Yeah,
Chapo.
El Chapo, Shorty, a little Shorty. That is his name, innit? Yeah. El Chapo. Look at how he escaped prison in itself, and it took Mexico to just tell America take him for him to serve his time because. Yeah. He knew they already know like that's what you call power.
Isn't it? Getting extradited. Once they're in their land, they can do whatever, innit?
They know they just pay.
Yeah, that's it. They pay.
Boom. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guy called Dolce Shady.
Yeah, I remember we spoke about him before.
He's from Trinidad. I think he was Asian guy from Trinidad anyway. Dolce Shady. He had Trinidad in another level. And he was just a minor little drug dealer that he became a very powerful individual.
I feel like every country has its its drug baron or its drug lord or someone.
I think
it's just the way that world is designed, isn't it? You're gonna get people that get to the hierarchy, and then everyone has their time, and then they go and then they get replaced. It's just how it goes.
But those dealers, man, it depends. It's normally South.
The problem is when that person goes, they create a big vacuum, and then everyone's
they create a whole problem for people. Yeah.
That's why it's even easier for them to have just one person there for the law and for everyone else, because they know they just go to like one person. Oh, there's too much killings. Like, cut it out.
That market is very.
They can govern it and things like that.
Because what is it? Is it Colombia is the market for cocaine, right? The leaves, the coca, whatever leaves, what you call them.
It's South America.
It's in Colombia, isn't it? I think it is.
Colombia and the surrounding.
And there's a few other. There's a few. I mean, to some places you have to chew it for your own air, whatever you call it.
They do. It's some of the locals.
They have to chew it. It's legal.
Because in the high altitude.
Yeah, because that's it. The altitude. So they have to chew it so that they can open up more. And if you don't chew it, I think you're open to get it to start throwing up or whatever the case. So it's literally
balances them up.
Yeah. Even goes with this thing called they call it cat.
Oh, the Somali.
The Somalis. Now, do you know the interesting thing about the cat? It's called Mirah. Kenya is the producer of it. And if you see how those guys drive to deliver it, when it was legal in the UK, those guys just drive down the road. You just move. They have a Toyota Hilux truck pickup. Boom. Everything is at the back of it. And they'll be tearing down the road. Those guys will be doing 100 miles at least, man. Making sure they deliver it to get to the UK. And then these guys will now get it over here, start selling it. And I remember when they said it's gonna be illegal in the UK, these guys were crying. Like business is down. But one of the countries one of the countries that's very very they chew it like there's no business. It's Oman. That's the thing that really confused me. I was like, Oman, and those guys sit down and chew it. You could see
Oman?
it's in Arabia somewhere, one of the Arabic countries, and it's just one of those places. Those guys chew it down, and I'm like, whoa, you guys chew this thing? Because I remember I've been offered it a few times, but I was like, no, I don't smoke, so this, and I'm not gonna chew this thing, man. I don't understand. You chew it with chewing gum, and then the next thing you have missing teeth and all of that. Listen, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, people, on to the next one. I think we need to time to say time to cut out and say adios, people. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Peace out to all of you guys, and shout out to Republic Union for the hats that we're wearing, and shout out to the Naira shop for the body cleanse. Peace.